Charaka, plus other fantabulous prize and feel on your hand.
You said you on top bicycle they sleep.
Make you dial star 611 hash now to enter and win. Terms and conditions there.
Unlimited.
jẹ́ kí ìmọ́lẹ̀ kí ó wà ní Olúwa wí. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ ti wá dé báyìí nípasẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ Greater Light Power Limited. Aṣíwájú iléeṣẹ́ tó mójúlẹ́jà solar installation dọ́ba. Èrò pọ̀ lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ solar lóòótọ́. Àmọ́ ká ṣe solar kó mọ́lẹ̀ rokoṣo láìsí ìdákúrekú. Ọ̀gá ni iléeṣẹ́ Greater Light Power Limited. Capacity tẹ́ bá ń fẹ́ bó ti wù kó pọ̀ tó. Greater Light Limited wà bí ẹ̀wà fún yín. Hybrid of solar and wind ló mú wọn yàtọ̀ gédégbé. Bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe installation ni wọ́n ṣe repairs pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi solar panels. Tó fi mọ́ wind turbine, inverters pẹ̀lú batteries lóríṣiríṣi. Bá a ṣe ń tà là ń ṣe installations fún ilégbèé, ilé-iṣẹ́, ilé ìtura, gbọ̀ngàn ayẹyẹ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìgbàkúùgbà àti ibikíbi tí ẹ bá ń fẹ́ solar installations sí, tààrà ni ẹ máa bọ̀ wá sí Greater Light Power Limited. A wà ní number 2 Òjó Ìbàdàn Avenue, Old Bodija, Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08058521994 or 08177595000. Website www.greaterlightpowerlimited.com. Greater Light Power Limited, bringing you a brighter life.
Miss Polly has a baby who was sick. She phones to the doctor to be quick. The doctor came running with a Rexall drop, and he knocked on the door with a rat-a-tat-tat.
Rexall paracetamol drop is good for the treatment of feverish conditions in babies. Rexall paracetamol drop has a fruity taste and it is mild on the child's digestive system.
Then the baby was happy and started to play.
Rexall paracetamol, also available as tablets and suppositories for adults and syrup for children. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor. Rexall paracetamol, another quality product from Daily Need Industries.
It's a beautiful morning, Naija. Don't forget to deposit your old Naira notes into your Momo wallet at the nearest Momo agent outlet before January 31st, 2023. First dial star 671 hash to open the Momo wallet, then call our toll-free number 671 to locate the Momo agent near you.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, and you're welcome back to the Break of Dawn newspaper review on your laughter station, 32 FM 94.9. I am Adenike Ademuwagun.
I'm Kenny Durutilu. Very good morning to you out there. We have with us on the phone lines this morning Professor Ulu Ojeduku. Good morning, Prof.
Top of the day to you.
All right, top of the day to you as well.
All right, let's start off with this one from I believe it's the Punch newspaper now. APC's Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has expressed optimism that his party will capture Kano State and Nigeria as a whole in the 2023 elections. Now, Kano, like we know, is one of the strategic northern states. Now, that's set to actually, that's very likely to determine the ultimate outcome, of the elections. What do you make of this particular story?
Well, Kano alone does not cannot determine who wins the election, but it's significant because Kano, together with Lagos, have the highest number of registered voters. So, of course.
Hello, Prof. Okay, I think we lost Prof there. We'll try to reconnect with him in a bit, but okay. All right. We'll try to reconnect with Prof in a bit, but in the meantime, we should take a look at some other stories out of the pages of the newspapers this morning. I have this one here. It says the spiritual director of Adoration Ministry, Enugu, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, yesterday returned from the monastery after 8 months of suspension. Now, video circulating online captured a crowd of welcoming Mbaka at the Akanu EBM International Airport in Enugu.
On the Daily Post, we have 2023 budget, fuel subsidy payment to go up 3.36 trillion naira in 6 months. This is from the finance minister. Away from that, Mapoli workers protest non-payment of salaries. Ex-minister loses traditional title for disrespecting Bauchi governor. And you can also find Zamfara police arrest 5 suspected bandits, neutralize 1, recover weapons. I'll win 2023 presidential election. Tinubu. Husband, wife die mysteriously on their matrimonial bed in Kano. Boko Haram commander Abu Huraira, others killed in Borno. You can also find 1 feared killed, properties destroyed as Hausa Fulani clash in Ondo. Moving to another paper.
All right, we have this one. Electricity distribution companies have quietly increased the amount payable by power consumers across the country. I think we have Prof back on. Hello, Prof. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Prof. Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I
All
can
right.
hear you.
All
Okay,
right, great.
you were making a submission before you disconnected.
Yes, I was basically rounding up about Kano that what's going to determine who wins to be the number of people with PVCs that turn off. And it's possible that thousands and in fact millions of people turn up for your rallies. And if they're not registered, then it would not matter at all.
No.
I also think the next other thing to take into account is that people have claimed in some areas that they're underage voters. And of course, INEC has said if these underage voters come up, even if they come up with PVCs, they're going to be disqualified and not allowed to vote. So there are a number of factors that will determine. But at the moment, it seems as if Asiwaju is quite popular there. You know, he just needs to translate it into the PVC, people with their PVCs coming out to vote. So he has a chance, but Kano is not the only factor in this election.
All right, away from that, let's move to the major story on the Punch this morning that has to do with discos and the tariff hike. The major story says, discos hike electricity tariff secretly, consumers kick. Now, are there no regulations to these things? Can they just wake up one morning and do this? It was reported that the electricity tariff was at 66 naira per unit and it is now 72.2 naira per unit, and some speculations have it that they are moving to 100 naira per unit.
Obviously, these discos and whatever we call them, they're not in this for charity. They need to make money. But of course, there are procedures, and of course, the regulators are supposed to be involved. You cannot just increase the price without notice or without giving the consumers adequate information as to what is going to happen. Because, of course, you need to prepare their minds and so that people can adjust accordingly and decide what they want to do with the usage of electricity. So I think it's highly irregular if that has occurred. And of course, we'll be calling on the regulator to investigate. I mean, all these underhand tactics wouldn't work. I know that the cost of living has gone up. I know the cost of generation and distribution probably would have gone up too. But there are ways to go about this. And I think the consumer already is taking quite a lot in terms of expenses, quite a lot in terms of spending. And of course, if anybody is going to increase it, they need to be aware and it needs to be made known. So, of course, we've heard about this and people have experienced it, but we wait for the regulators to get involved because that's their role, to regulate and, of course, to mediate.
I believe people won't be complaining as much if we had excellent services, electricity services, as against the mediocre services we have now, in spite of the increase.
Yes, the amount that you pay is not to get you very good service at all. It's just to maintain the status quo of the mediocre service that we already have. And I think that's the huge disappointment. They claim, the discourse will claim, that if you want to get the kind of service you deserve, then you have to pay phenomenal amounts for them to invest in infrastructure. I think the key with the discourse, and even to a certain extent with the Gankos, is that the people that got involved and invested didn't necessarily have a know-how of the electricity sector. A lot of people that just got involved are just people who are into business generally, and therefore they got in and they discovered that the cost could be quite overwhelming, and that this is a long-term investment, not a medium or short-term investment. And many of them have just not been able to, it's been based on loans, it's been based on subsidy from the government, and they've not been able to find the wherewithal, to fund, distribution of electricity and the decrepit equipment that contributes to the breakdown of electricity distribution on a regular basis.
All right, Prof, before we go to other stories, this is one story that we must talk about. Lagos students lodge classmates in hotels for sex rumps. I'm sure you saw that particular one yesterday.
Yeah.
We understand that they were
Yes,
students
yeah.
of the federal government college in Lagos. They were said to have been caught absconding from school to lodge female classmates in hotels.
Yeah, but there are many questions. These hotels that you're talking about, don't they have policies? Do they admit underage children, or do they just admit anybody? And they're supposed to get details, from people. That's the first thing. The second thing is, where do they get the money from? You understand? Did they steal the money? Is it money that's given to them by their parents?
Right.
Then, of course, you have to come to the school. Is the security so lax within these colleges or secondary schools, or particular secondary school, that people can just camper off, and go on a jolly, on a merry, and engage in all manner of shenanigans? We're talking about 14 to 17-year-olds there. These are not very old people. These are quite young. These are youngsters, you understand? In fact, in other countries, you call it pedophilia, or what they're engaging in, even though they're engaging in it with themselves.
Right.
So I think those number of questions need to be asked. The hotel, you understand, ask questions to ask. The secondary school itself asks questions to ask, and their parents have questions to ask. And some will say fundamentally, a lot of these things starts from the home. The government must do its job, but the parents must do much more of their job.
How does this reflect on society? Moral decadence in society at this time, when you have 14-year-olds having the courage, the confidence to actually go to hotels, for things like these. What does that say about where we are, where we stand as a society at this time?
Oh, it shows that we are bankrupt. It shows that we are degenerate, and it shows that the society, as far as morality is concerned, has broken down completely. Because, as I said, there's a conspiracy of factors, conspiracy of the parents, conspiracy of the secondary school itself, and a conspiracy of the hoteliers, those that will admit underage people into their hotels without the necessary checks. Society has certainly come to a halt in terms of morality. And I think it has to start from the home. You understand? And what surprises me is that we're one of the most churched countries. Right. We're one of the most mosqued countries. And yet we have so many churches, we have so many mosques. But when it comes to morality, we've become bankrupt. So you have to ask the question, what's going on in our churches? What's going on in our mosques? What's going on at home? Those are the questions that we must interrogate, we must ask, and we must begin to reason and say, are we just wasting our time with religiosity when bankruptcy or moral bankruptcy is what is presented to us on a daily basis?
All right, so this headline from The Punch says, Asset Declaration, Court stops INEC chairman's removal. Yesterday, they frustrated the plan to scuttle the 2023 general election by removing the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. First, it was Emefiele, the CBN governor, and now Yakubu, with some parties saying that they sort of don't remember when he gave them, quote and unquote, 2019, but now they want him to declare his assets because he wants to give Nigerians a free and fair election.
Well, the rule book, the formula is quite clear. Remember Onogen. They saw that Onogen was quite an independent judge, and they were not sure of where his loyalties lay, whether it lay to the truth or to justice, or whether it lay to the ruling party. And they brought up that formula, that playbook of the CCC, the Code of Conduct Tribunal. And of course, on that basis, it was removed. I'm quite surprised that the same formula and as the same narrative is being played out. Initially, they wanted to do it with the governor of the central bank, who many of us do not feel has done a credible job, but felt that if it's going to go, has to go through the legal and legitimate way. And now they're trying it on the INEC chairman. And of course, we know the implications of his removal. It could possibly have scuttled the elections. And some people are suggesting that he's brought in some far-reaching fundamental policies which would change the face of elections in Nigeria and ensure that vote rigging and all this kind of shenanigans have come to a halt. A good thing. Necessarily a good thing for Nigeria. But it tells you in Nigeria that there are a lot of people who don't want a good thing. A lot of people just want their own selfish ends to be met. And I'm happy that the court has stood its ground. But I think we need to be alert. We need to stand on our toes, watching to see that there are some people, I don't know where they're situated, whether it's in the presidency or whether it's in Nassau Rock or wherever they are. But what is quite clear is that some people are not happy with the reforms that have been brought about electorally, and they're determined to ensure that the elections that we have is not an election, but an imposition of some sort. And you must give kudos to the chairman of the INEC for those reforms, even though in the past he hasn't necessarily displayed the neutrality that you would have expected.
All right, Prof, let's take a look at this one. Talking politics now, chieftains of the People's Democratic Party, PDP in Oyo State, have shown Governor Seyi Makinde by organizing a rally for its presidential candidate, Atiku. Now, they're saying basically that the G5 crisis is between the governors and the national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, and not with Atiku.
Well, it shows you the difficulty that the governor is going to face. The presidential candidate of the PDP is Atiku, and the governor is a member of the PDP. Those are the facts. And so you don't expect the members of the party to organize a campaign for any other person than their presidential candidate. Whilst the governor, of course, is in cahoots with the G5, you understand, it's not relevant to them. What is relevant to them is that they support their own presidential candidate. And that's going to be the difficulty the governor faces, where people would have to vote for a candidate, their candidate in the presidential, and some people, he might suggest to them they vote for somebody else who is not their candidate. So it puts them in some bit of difficulty, and the governor would have to navigate it very carefully. Otherwise, he might be faced with a situation that happened in 1983, so not 1983, 2003 rather, when the AD supported Obasanjo at the presidency and supported themselves for the governorship, and they all lost except Asiwaju Tinubu in Lagos. So it's a very delicate situation that is faced, but the party members have done what is expected of them.
Let's talk about fuel scarcity and fuel in general in Nigeria. 2023 budget, fuel subsidy payment to go up 3.36 trillion naira in 6 months. This is coming from the finance minister. By implication, subsidy payment would persist till the end of June 2023. And it begs the question, where is the fuel that we're paying subsidy for? It almost feels like we no longer pay subsidy because the masses are feeling the brunt. A litre of fuel sells for as high as 350 naira in some petrol stations in some parts of Nigeria, while some are dispensing at 300. So what are we doing about this?
First and foremost, I think it's economic malady to be spending 3 trillion on subsidy, and most of this subsidy goes to Cameroon, goes to Republic of Niger, and goes to Republic of Benin. I think it's madness. It makes no economic sense. But secondly, because the subsidy appears to be fixed, it means that each time the price of oil or PMS goes up, you understand, landing cost and the ore, except you increase the amount of subsidy, what's going to happen is that the marketers or the consumers are going to get the added cost. What has been going on is that we'll be getting the added cost. I'm not even sure that they're landing enough of this product. NNPC will say they have enough, but there's a scarcity, and the scarcity has led to hoarding. And the hoarding has led to an increase in price. And therefore, even though you have subsidy, we are still getting it, as you said. You said 300, you understand? And people have suggested if there was no subsidy, maybe we'll be paying about 400 or 500. We're almost there, aren't we? So I think the whole issue of subsidy is a nonsense. The whole thing should be scrapped immediately so that all these shenanigans with hoarding and paying all these illegal prices, you understand, does not arise at all. Let the market forces determine. And then if the government is going to use part of that 3 trillion as palliatives, or whatever we call it these days, then let the government do that. Let them design a palliative measure for the poorest of the poor so that people can be cushioned. But what we're doing right now doesn't make sense. In 6 months, you're going to spend 3 trillion. So that means in 1 year, we'll be spending 6 trillion. And we are borrowing this money. That's the point that I've not even made. The money is borrowed. It is money we don't have. And we are piling up the deficit and loans, for future generations.
I don't know if you saw that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission recovered 13 billion naira as proceeds from illegal payments made under the subsidy regime between 2017 and 2021. Who was it recovered from, and why are they hiding the names? And what if it's also reluted?
Well, first and foremost, I'm surprised that the names have not been revealed. Those names should be revealed and people blacklisted. But the amounts that you've mentioned that are being reported are pintrick. They're small amounts, compared to the enormous amount that have gone under the water. But what is quite clear is that there's a fraudulent activities on a monumental and some might say on an industrial scale. It should be published. The people that are identified should be blacklisted, or else we believe that there's a collusion of some sort somewhere. But it tells you, you understand, that the subsidy regime is not fit for purpose, should be scrapped, should be abandoned, and we should have something else in place.
All right, we go on another commercial break. When we come back, we'll take your analysis. 94.9.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Wait. Remember our guy, Femo? What a character.
Yes, remember his usual 15 naira for 1 hour bundle on YouTube.
As in, he always knows the latest hits and bangers.
Yes, so even his comedy and series game is top notch.
Remember his nickname now?
Mr. Do It On Your Own. And also his come and see how to be this and that. Bros is well rounded.
Ada, come and see how to be a fashion designer.
Get 1 hour of YouTube video data for 50 naira and 3 hours for 130 naira on the MTN network. Simply dial *131 *8 *1 hash today. There's YouTube data for everyone on the MTN network.
Your Friday nights just got a massive reload. Catch a vibe and run with it on Club 32 with DJ Mascot, spinning you into musical heavens.
I don't want nobody to be my
Club 32, Max Cruise, Max Vibes, Max Hypes, Max Energy. It's happening on 32 FM 94.9 every Friday, 10 p.m. Turn up on Friday nights with DJ Mascot on Club 32. It's about to go down. It's about to be lit.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi báwo ni o ṣe wá.
bá a ṣe ń bojú wẹ̀yìn tá à ń rí yín ló ń wú wa lórí ẹ̀yin lẹ wà ń bẹ̀ táwa fi ń dẹmọ fakọsí milẹ̀ngbẹ̀ dábìrà ìtẹ̀lé àti àròtì yín lójúpọ̀ ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ wa gbogbo lọ́pá ìtẹ̀síwájú wa ẹ̀yin tí a lórí Facebook àrí yẹn dúró re ẹ̀yin tí Instagram ẹ gbáyì lórí Twitter ẹ wálẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tí YouTube ẹ fòró wíwà ń bẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ṣeyebíye sí wa kílẹ̀ yín tẹ̀ ń gbé gànà wòrán dúró dè ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láwọn ojúpọ̀ ayélujára wa gbogbo pẹ̀lú 32 FM 949 Ìbàdàn 32 FM 949 Ìbàdàn àdúpẹ́ o iyì yín pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa bí iyanrìn òkun ó pọ̀ yẹ́yẹ́.
Aṣọ pọ̀ tó yìí.
ẹ̀yin tèmi àtún ti gbèdé o lójú ẹsẹ̀ tó ń gbóná fẹ́ni ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glow Festival of Joy.
Ayẹyẹ tó yílẹ̀ ayé yẹn padà látọwọ́ Glow ni.
Gbàgede tó kún fún àwọn ẹ̀bùn jàǹkànjàǹkàn fún jíjẹ.
Ilé tuntun lọ́nà ogún.
Ọkọ̀ tuntun 24.
Ẹ̀rọ 100 kan tó ń pèsè iná.
Ẹ̀rọ ìrọṣọ 200. Ẹ̀rọ afẹ́tẹ́gùn tó ń gbaná sára 1000 kan.
Àtàwọn ẹgbẹ̀rún ẹ̀bùn tó ká màmá.
Ṣé àti tẹ *611# láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn kó o sì jẹ́ nínú ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glow Festival of Joy. Ra dátà tí ó tó $100 lásìkò ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí. Ó dẹ̀ lè jẹ̀bùn ilé tó o bá dẹ̀ ra ìwé ìpè tàbí dátà láti $500 sí $10,000 lóṣooṣù lọ́sẹ̀ẹsẹ̀ àbí lójoojúmọ́. Wà ní àǹfààní àti jẹ ẹ̀bùn ọkọ̀ ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ tuntun kan pẹ̀lú ẹ̀bùn tó ká mọ̀mọ́.
Má lọ jókòó tẹ̀tẹ̀rẹ̀ má nà gẹ̀rẹ̀.
Tẹ *611# ní báyìí láti darapọ̀ kó o dẹ̀ máa jẹ lọ àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ó ń bẹ o.
Glow Unlimited.
32 FM 94.9.
The Break of Dawn pay-per-view, 32 FM 94.9, 4 minutes past 7 o'clock. This is where we open the phone lines to you to get your thoughts, reactions to the stories making the newspapers this morning. Okay, let's start off 070-55,949, 080-97,949.
Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, 0809 7949 to share your thoughts this morning on the show. 0705 50949. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling from UI this morning.
All right.
Okowa has said it. It's only God that can make a good president for Nigeria. It is not the duty of the G5 or whatever name they call themselves. And I know what the professor has said this morning. Winning Kano is not enough. But let me tell you, APC is going to make improvements in Kano. I've said this several times. Ganduje has equally said this. I recall that APC in Kano said they will win election whatever it takes them. And no Ganduje will achieve that. Whatever it takes, we will ensure that APC comes top in Kano. If it happened in 2019, it told PDP, I will shock you. And it came out with that. Let me just listen, I want to be brief.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, John. 07055,949. 08097,949. We're very much alive on Facebook. You want to jump on Facebook, drop your thoughts there. We're live there as well. That's 32FM 949 Ibadan.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
This is Comrade John Felix calling from Oyo.
Please go on.
All right. The issue of Governor Makinde on the G5. There is one thing I want us to understand about this scenario. In 2019, it happened in Ogun State when the former governor, Ibikula Amusu, was contesting for Senate seat in Ogun State and is in APC and is campaigning for governorship candidate of APM. And he won his election. I will know how massive votes that the governorship candidate of APM got in that election. Now, coming to the Seyi Makinde issue, it will affect Seyi Makinde if he supports the APC because he has a great opposition. But if he supports Peter Obi, it's going to be just carry over for him because he does not have a strong candidate in Oyo State. Now, concerning the issue of Obasanjo endorsing Peter Obi, the Yoruba word says, so if those that are criticizing them should just endorse their own presidential candidates, so they should leave Obasanjo and Clark and others and leave Obi alone. I know God will determine this coming election. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much.
All right,
for your message.
Thank you.
On Facebook, Tolulope Adeyemi says the tribunal judgment expecting from Osun State governorship election will go a long way as to whether BVAs has come to stay or not. But it's good to know that INEC has not reneged on their promises to transmit 2023 general election results electronically, because this will in a way bring sanity into our electoral system. It's a pretty long one there. Thank you very much Tolulope Adeyemi for that one.
0705 50949. Hello. Good morning.
I'm Prof. Good morning. This is from Oyo.
Good morning.
About this student lodging the same hotel. It may be from last time because schools have not resumed. They resume on Sunday, federal government colleges. Maybe these students come from home, from their family, and lodge in the hotel without going to the school. If you read the parents, we have to be very careful about our children. Everything we put it on schools authority or the government. We the parents, we are service. It is only our career that we focus on. We don't focus on these children. We just spend money. Money. Without giving them more knowledge that they need. Have a nice time. God bless you.
All right,
Thank you so much, Prof. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Prof, you chuckled, so maybe that was why I thought you wanted to say something.
I think the newspaper reports were clear. This didn't just happen. This happened during the school session. So we know that it happened during the school, but that does not abdicate or remove the responsibility of the parents. From that point of view, yes, the school has a responsibility as in loco parentis, but of course, what puts it in the heart or in the mind of a child that sexual romps and escapades are the next things for extracurricular activities.
Right.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Ishola calling from Lagos.
Please go on.
Yeah, you see, talk is very cheap. we all say remove subsidy, remove subsidy. What are the machinery put in place to cushion the effect of subsidy? All these years, we are not supposed to be importing fuel. What we are supposed to be advocating for is the building of a refinery that will be refining our crude product here, not taking it abroad. You see, subsidy has been removed from diesel. And go and meet manufacturers. They are dying. Their factories are no longer working. They have retrenched their workers. The effect of removing subsidy from PMS is that petroleum product will be sold for 450 naira. You know what it means? Where you are entering a commercial vehicle for 100 naira, will turn to 250. And simultaneously, all the things in the market will increase. I don't want to say more than this. Right. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Yes. Can I just add something?
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought, Prof.
We'll get you in a bit.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Based on the children lodgement, I think the whole issue from the formation was actually, it was last term and the previous session.
Okay.
Now we now ask ourselves, what could be responsible? There are a lot of issues. One, parental negligence. Some of those things are actually from what they watch, the media. They want to practice. And at home, I want to say this with all boldness, that there's a great percentage that the parents had a part to play in it. How do we now get out of all this whole issue? Let's ask ourselves. I think it still has to come back to home upbringing. Much as I agree, there are a lot of other factors, but I think our upbringing matters. When we were growing up, there were a lot of things that were instilled in us. We have thrown those things away now.
Right.
Good morning, my dear brother.
All right.
Thank
you so much. All right, Prof, you wanted to say something?
Yes, the issue of subsidy. I thought we were told that the Dangote is coming on stream, that the turnaround for Port Harcourt spent billions of dollars on it and will be ready, and that would reduce the amount of what we import, of the refined product of import. But nothing is being said in the budget projection about Dangote or no about the Port Harcourt refinery, which is being refurbished. So I'm at loss as to what exactly is going on with those refineries.
All right. Comments on Facebook. Sulaiman Sharif says, what Afe Babalola said is naked truth. Any election conducted under the 1999 Constitution will merely result in recycling the same people who brought Nigeria to grinding poverty, mass unemployment, underfunded education, insecurity, and huge external debts. Please, what is the way forward? Olayinka Adetola says, the APC told us subsidy was a scam and promised to fix our refineries before their emergence, and even said last year that one of the refineries will be working by December of last year. Yet none of those refineries is functioning, despite the trillions of naira being spent on these projects. Now Nigeria is borrowing money to pay subsidy. Nigerians are suffering of fuel scarcity and economic woes under the APC government that condemned the previous administration for paying subsidy. Thank you so much for that, Olayinka Adetola. The number is 0705 5,949 and 0809 7,949.
All right, we have other messages on Facebook. Omo Ademuwagun says, despite the present economic crisis facilitated by the APC government at the federal level. Okay, I'll get to that one in a bit. Okay, Nigeria's debt burden is about to hit 77 trillion naira with another plan to secure 22.7 trillion naira loans from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Thank you very much for that message. 07055,949, 08097,949.
Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume on your radio.
Good morning. My name is Vincent from Olude.
All right, please go on.
Good morning. You see, what is happening in this country, if you are looking for scam, this present administration is a real scam. It's a scam. I'm happy that I'm in Lagos during the Jonathan regime when he removed subsidy. We were there for over a week. Hello?
Go ahead, sir. You have to wrap up quickly. Hello.
We were there for over a week, chanting, they should not remove subsidy, this and that. And the subsidy that the man removed them is what they are doing now. You see, we just implore Nigerians to please look for the right candidates and the right party to vote for, because this time around, Nigerians are groaning with what is happening. We don't know when we are in recess, when we are out of recess. That's another drama that they are using to cajole us.
All right.
We are in recess.
All right. Thank you so much. With that said, please go get your PVC. Thank you so much for joining us. Prof, it was nice to have you on the show. My name is Adenike Ademuwagun.
I'm Kenny Durutilu. Good morning.